Bess, got it? I want to thank everyone for stopping in today, and this is in reference to the violence that we had over the weekend. What I want to tell the public is that we will investigate this with all resources that we have, and we hope to bring the people responsible for this to justice. It was troubling. I understand the public's concern, but I want to assure them that what they will see in the future is more patrols. We will concentrate on non-enforcement contacts and also enforcement contacts in areas affected by this violence. It's not acceptable. I think anyone been pretty clear cooperation with this. I think there's people out there that could help us solve these crimes that occurred and bring some closure to the families. So I again ask the public to step up, contact us directly or go through Silent Observer. We'll take whatever tips we can to help solve these crimes. Questions?
Chief, we had 4 shootings, 1 stabbing. Have there been any arrests in any of those incidents at this point?
And we've identified a person of interest in at least one of them. We have some leads on the other ones, but at this point, I don't believe there's been any arrests made.
For those 2 fatals from this weekend, were those as far as you all know, the intended targets?
Well, we're very early in the investigation on that. It'd be too early to speculate on it. The unfortunate thing is that we had 2 victims killed on our streets, and that's not acceptable.
Can you talk a little bit about the issue with the code of silence? I know you had a statement yesterday talking about it and how this is an issue that you guys have run into before. Can you talk a little bit about how that's hindering the investigation?
Yes, it is. And there is a code of silence out there. Our officers are doing the best job they can to be in areas where these incidents are occurring, but there's people who are witnessing it. We have to break down that code of silence. It's not acceptable. It's only harming the community when these incidents occur, and that we would hope that people would step up and help us out with this.
It's almost not just a code of silence. It's almost like we don't come to the police to solve our problem. We're going to solve this crime ourselves and take retribution ourselves on the street. I think that's why we're getting, don't you think that's why we're seeing this uptick of violence where people are just solving them themselves, making retribution?
Well, I wouldn't want to speculate on the motives that have occurred, but that could be a part of it, when people may want to take the law in their own hands. Again, I don't want to speculate and say that's what occurred over this weekend or any other one. But the bottom line is people aren't cooperating us for the most part. Occasionally we do get a cooperation and we're able to solve these crimes quickly and more efficiently instead of having a long drawn out investigations.
Any indication that this is related to gang violence at all?
It'd be this weekend would be too early to speculate on that. We're still early in this investigation.
There are a few other homicides that we've seen this year, and I know the issue, like I was saying, the code of silence has been an issue. There weren't any arrests in those. Right. Is this stress on the department to have this many cases that you're working at once, right, and you're running into these roadblocks?
Well, there have been arrests made on some of the homicides this year so far, and a lot of that had to do with people cooperating, and we were able to bring a quicker resolution to that. But yes, it's taxing for our detectives. It's taxing for our patrol officers who are out there. Again, I will be looking to put more officers out on overtime, again, for non-enforcement and enforcement activities in these areas. So it is taxing on us, but I think it's important that the community knows that we are as concerned as they are, and we will do everything we can to have a.
I know there are a lot of people who have also said that they consider this a gun issue, and Muskegon has talked about how they have a gun issue and started certain programs. What is the city of Grand Rapids doing to keep guns off the streets and cut down on the amount of incidents that we're seeing.
Yeah, we continue to ask people to secure their weapons, make sure people have a right to have weapons. Make sure you're securing them in a responsible way so that these guns aren't finding their way out on the street, number one. Again, I think we need to, with enforcement and intelligence gathering on where these guns are coming from and who are using them or where they're storing them at will go a long way. And again, any tips that someone has that can call in and assist us in finding these guns and taking them off the street is very important.
Do you have a direct message to the shooter or shooters in these cases that you'd like to?
As with all cases, we will do our best. And I keep saying because I do. At some point, it does get personal where people are out terrorizing the neighborhoods and victimizing people with shots being fired in them. With that said, we will do our best and use every resource we have to bring them to justice. The other option is for them to stop also. It's as simple as that. We will continue to pursue them if they're out there doing these acts of violence.
Or turn themselves in?
Turn themselves in, absolutely.
I can think of 4 shooting incidents on Saturday that were reported, and then there was the one stabbing downtown on Friday. Is that all of the violence incidents that occurred this weekend in terms of shootings, stabbings?
I don't have the exact number of what occurred this weekend, but you're correct on there were at least 4 in the one stabbing incident, and I would say that's one too many. We should not have that level, that any violence going on in the city, and again, we're going to do what we can, but we also are asking the community to step up and to assist us in stopping the violence that's occurring in the city. There's a lot of factors. If we can look into what is the cause of it, some would say economics, education, mental health. I mean, there's a number of factors. It's not just a police issue, it's a community issue that we must work with our partners in different fields to try to address the root cause of what's going on here. But again, we're going to do our part in bringing those responsible to justice.
One more question.
Any indication that the 4 shootings, specifically the 2 fatals and the 2 just injury, were any of those related to one another?
Again, I wouldn't want to speculate because we're very, in the scheme of investigations or for investigations, it is early to why they occurred. So it's too early to speculate on that.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Just to clarify, you mentioned in the areas for increased presence, both enforcement and non-enforcement. Were those just in the areas where these incidents occurred, or are you just mean across the city in general?
No, we're going to look in the areas where these incidents are occurring, and that's something that we want the public to know. It's going to be non-enforcement, more visibility, but of course, our officers, their tasks to